Hey, it's Simon Lovell here, and welcome to this next in the series of videos helping you understand what it takes to get to 10,000 per month in your fitness business. And, if you've not already gone through the previous videos and done the action steps and gotten the points, make sure that you do that, okay? Because it's really going to help you moving forward. In this video today, I'm going to be talking about that 5-letter word which constantly comes up, okay, all the time. What is it? Okay, it is leads, okay? Everyone says to me, Simon, I need more leads in my business. And of course, generating more leads is really important, okay? But understand that by watching the previous videos that if you don't have the right systems in place, if you don't have the right model in place for your business, then you can get more leads, but you might not get to your 10,000 a month goal because of everything that happens once the lead is generated. So you generate a ton of leads, but then you're not closing at the percentage that you want to be closing and enrolling clients. Then they're not going into the correct business model, and that can completely crumble your chances of getting to 10,000 a month. So while leads is important, okay, it doesn't show the whole picture around what it takes to get to a six-figure business. It's a component, all right? So if you're just thinking to yourself, I need leads, and that's a common thought for you, understand that all the previous videos are highly relevant, because what happens is the leads that you get end up compounding in terms of result once they come through. Now, what I'm going to be talking about today is lead diversification. Lead diversification. What does that mean? That means that you do not want to just focus on one lead source in your business, okay? Why? Well, as much as Facebook ads works, okay, what happens if your Facebook ads account gets shut down? Oftentimes what happens is we generate a new lead source and it works for us. And even though we need to ramp it up to a new level, sometimes that breaks down and then suddenly you can break down because of it. But before I go talking into this subject around different sources of leads, okay, I also want to wind back to the first video where I talked about mindset and confidence. What I know for sure, working with so many trainers in the industry, is that if you don't have confidence and you don't have a rock solid mindset, then you will sabotage your chances of getting leads because you're not able to put yourself out there. You're not wanting to go out and, go to events and go and put yourself in front of people and get away from the computer. So if you're lacking in confidence and you're lacking in self-worth, not on the gym floor, not working with people in person, but in your business, putting yourself out there, you're worried about what people think. This is going to affect your action to get leads, and you will only generate enough revenue in your business to make enough money, and then you will be forced into action when you lose a client. And this is such a key piece of awareness to have, and it actually affects more people and more trainers than you would understand. So just have that awareness. Ask yourself the question, does my confidence affect my action in getting leads? Because this is a key component. And that's why Fitpreneurs has had to move and transition into being not just a business development program and a program that helps you get more leads and helps you close more sales and helps you have great systems, but it's also needed to evolve into being a self-development company. Why? Because really, what I help my clients to do is build their confidence so that they can implement the lead generation strategies that I give them that work. Okay? So let's talk about this. So right now, you may be getting 10 leads a week. Okay? Right now, you may not be getting any leads at all. But if I ask you the question, where did your past 3 clients come from? I want you to write those down. Okay? Now, maybe one came from a Facebook ad. Okay, and that's been your focus. Maybe Another one came from a referral. Okay. But we have to start to track and measure progress on the things that you're doing so that we can replicate them. For example, if you generate a lead and that comes from a particular strategy on Facebook, you want to put that into an Evernote. You want to make a note of it so you can repeat successful actions. Okay. And here's the truth, guys. There's no shortage of leads out there, or lives, if we were to call a lead a life, which is it's a life. Okay. So there's no shortage of people out there that need your help. Okay. There's 8 billion people on the planet. There's plenty of people, even if you're in a small area. Okay. There's plenty of people that if you had rock solid confidence that would need your help. If you get smart with your marketing, if you start to look at how other people do things and then start to do it better and start to get more creative and be different and be you. Okay. So we need to look at diversification so that we can start to track and measure data and start to put more effort towards certain things, but not forgetting other strategies. And there's new, online platforms, there's new things coming out all the time where you can get yourself in front of the people that need your help. So another one might be, for example, joint ventures. Okay. Another one might be, for example, Snapchat. Another one might be doing events. Okay. So what happens is, there's no shortage of strategies in getting leads. However, there is often an issue with time. So what happens is if the business, once you've got a lead and the business model doesn't support you having time, you don't have the time to implement a lot of this. So that's why leverage and the business model that you have in your fitness business has to give you the time to be able to market and grow your business, which is why fitpreneurs and being a fitpreneur is different from being a trainer who just trains clients all day long, because otherwise you don't have time to do the things that you need to do to attract and enroll clients. Does that make sense? So it's very important to look at different strategies and then start to implement them. Now, there's a thing which is called immediate return and long-term return lead generation. What do I mean by that? Well, right now you could do a Facebook post, and if you know what to write, okay, and if you knew how to create a certain video, most likely you could generate a lead instantly, and that lead would come into your inbox, and then potentially you could turn that lead into a client if you had the right system, which is from the previous videos. And that's an immediate potential return for you if the desire is high and if you take them through the right process. Now, there's other things which can build up over time. For example, videos on YouTube or a relationship that you start to build at an event. So understand that naturally we all want instant gratification, and Facebook has been so great for that because you can drive Facebook leads and you can put them through content and you can generate a client relatively quickly. However, if I look at the data of my clients and of my own business, and in asking the question, when did you first hear about me? Or I look at the data in terms of when does someone come into an email list and you start to build that relationship, oftentimes they're not going to invest until 6 months or, a year later. And so we have to nurture that relationship and continuously build trust, because not everyone is in the right time in their life to be able to make that investment, because just the timing is off. Okay. And that's where I'm going to be talking in future videos about something critical around this, which is really going to help you. So understand that lead diversification, some things get an immediate return, and then some things that you do, which aren't going to generate an immediate return, which is why you don't do them, will yield a return later. And so if you don't have lead diversification, okay, then you're not going to have this constant flow coming from different sources. Okay, maybe also there's things like podcasts or blogs. And so if you want to dominate, if you want to become the trainer and the business that never has a stress around leads and bringing leads in, then lead diversification and taking, if we put an A around each of these, action around all of these is critical. Now, what happens? Sometimes you post on Snapchat, sometimes you do a blog, and sometimes you do, these different things, and you don't get a reaction, and that creates a negative mindset. And then you start to create a story that people don't like my stuff. And then you go into more procrastination, and then you create another story, and then suddenly you're stressed out and you're not generating the revenue that you need to. So understand that the mindset in the lead generation is so absolutely critical. So I just wanted to do this video for you today so that you can start to understand that there's not a shortage of leads out there. You just need to get smart with your marketing. You need to look at all of the different sources that you could implement and then start to take action on them, okay? And that way, you're going to start to get an immediate return from some of the strategies, and you're going to get a long-term return from the things that you put out there that people are going to see 3 months from now, 2 weeks from now, a year from now. And that way, you're starting to build up real estate. How does someone build up a real estate portfolio? Well, they buy one house, and then they buy another house, and then they buy another house. And suddenly they're putting all of these different things out there. And so the more things you put out there, for example, the more YouTube videos you put out there, and the more content that people can see, not immediately, but later, then that really helps. So while Facebook is great, you're posting and it's immediate, but people don't see it again unless you repost it, okay? And that's why people get caused in a lot of stress. But I can't stress enough the power in this one thing. Writing down and having a document of the things that work for you, okay? When you sign up a client, writing down, where did that client come from? Specifically, not Facebook, but what was the post, okay? Because then you've got something that you can replicate, okay? So I'll see you in the next video in this series on getting to 10K a month in your business. And right now, post into the comments below. There's 100 points for this. I want you to let me know what has been your best source of leads so far. Okay, what's been your best source of leads so far? And also, what do you think out of this list here, or maybe even another thread, what's a source of leads that you knew if you put focus on would yield a good return, not immediately, but long-term? What's something that may yield a return 3 months from now? Is it email marketing? Is it an autoresponder sequence? Is it a funnel? Is it developing a relationship? And also, what is that thing which you know that you should do, but maybe there's a mindset around it that's stopping you? Because here's what I know for sure. There's plenty of information out there, but it's the accountability and having someone hold you accountable and there being consequences to stretch you to do these things that you don't want to do for yourself. And that's why people hire you, because you stretch them outside of their comfort zone. So what's that thing that you knew that if someone held you accountable, even though you're scared of doing it right now, what is it that you know that if you did this, it would be awesome, but you've got some kind of fear around it, be it technology or standing on stage and speaking? Because I know that once you start to do these things which are uncomfortable, you'll start to get the rewards that other people who are doing it are. But you can't master something until you start it. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.